I hadn't posted a video in a few weeks, so I was going to do this. This is not something I normally do. It's just what I just do. Okay, so I'm going to do a book review on lots of books, like still synthetic books. So this is by my favorite author, like all these books. And the first book we're going to look at is The Green Mile. Yes, my favorite author is Stephen Kig. Now, The Green Mile had to be one of my favorite all-time of Stephen Kig because it was just different. Like, it wasn't his usual stuff that you would expect. It was, I don't know, it was just different. With Mr. Jingles, the Cloth, and John Coffey. What a character. John Coffey is one of the most amazing characters I've ever read, that I've ever read about and seen the movie, and I've watched the movie a million times, and I want to read this book over and over again. It's one of his best. That's what I think. Next one, Misery. Misery was a bit weird. I started it and then I had to put it down because, well, I had to do a book report at school. But this one has to be one of my favorites still. It was a little weird because, if some of you don't know, I started reading a book about a girl named Misery even before I read this, and so it was kind of weird. But yeah, I don't know what I can say about this book. The main characters are just like weird, especially Annie. Annie's just like a weird character. I don't know if I want to watch a movie for this one. I haven't yet, but I don't know if I want to. But Paul goes through a lot, and it's kind of stupid. Like, I really think that Annie is too crazy. Just too crazy. Thinner. My first Stephen King book. I read this 3 years ago, maybe? And I loved it. It was interesting. It grabbed my attention. Even from like the first line. Let me read these. Thinner, the old gypsy man with the rotting nose whispered to William Halleck as Halleck and his wife Heidi come out of the courthouse. Like that, it grabs your attention right away. Thinner. It's amazing. I mean, I don't even remember reading all of this because it was just so amazing. But Thinner is one of the good ones. The movie was pretty good. I think they should remake it. Pet Sematary. What a book. See, first the cat dying and then the little boy, and then with the graveyard and everything, it was just amazing. Like, I could visualize it in my head. It was one of those books that I cannot forget. And it just creeped the heck out of me. Like, even like some of the last lines, bleh. If you haven't read it yet, do it. But it's creepy and you won't be able to sleep at night. It's just something that will give you nightmares, because I got some. And I don't know, it was a good book. Like, I would read this again. I would totally read this again. Dreamcatcher. See, I didn't think I would like this book at first because it's sci-fi-ish and I'm not really into that book kind of thing. And then I finished reading it and I loved it. I mean, Douglas Dennis was one of the best characters in this book, and then Jonesy always grabbed my attention. But it was just an amazing book. And the picture on the cover also kind of grabs you in. But I don't know, it was just an amazing book. But when I originally heard it was going to be called Cancer, I think it was this one. Let me check. Yeah, it was going to be called Cancer, but I think The Dreamcatcher was a better title. But even when they were in the beginning of the cabin, that was like amazing. I just gotta check something. Okay. Next book. Dolores Claiborne. This book was a little different for him, which I liked. I like how he puts little twists on things, and he talked in like a different voice. It was coming out of her mouth, but it was telling a story as well. It was interesting and different, especially the cause of death. But I don't know, Dolores was such a neat character, and I liked seeing it through her opinion instead of someone else's, because if it was anybody else's, they would have just said, like, oh, she's guilty, just lock her up, the story doesn't matter, she killed her husband, or whatever it was. It was good. But, I don't know, it was just different, and there were some things about it I didn't like how much they used the accent, and, like, so to speak, and, you'll see plenty of them. I didn't do no acting that day, so that was a little weird. One of my favorites, like, it's right up there with the Green Mile. It scared the crap out of me. I cannot watch the movie, even though the graphics are apparently bad and it was well done. It wasn't well done, but this book, I've read it 3 times. I loved it. It has to be one of my favorites. Pennywise, scariest creature ever. Let's see, Beverly and Tom Rogan beating her. I always remember that. And the spider in the bathroom. And then how Pennywise turned into a wolf and all that. Like, this is just a book you cannot forget, and you won't be able to sleep at night. It's just a scary book. 1 second. One is that I finished in the 3 weeks it came out, Under the Dome. Under the Dome was a pretty good book, but the ending was I didn't like the ending. It was different. It was hard to follow sometimes because there's so many characters, and I don't know, the situation that was going on was unique and different, but I think it could have been written better. I do not see a movie being made out of this one because it just wasn't that good. And even this thing on the front, it kind of gives away the whole plot. And the plane, and then one of the dogs. It was just, I don't know, I didn't like it. Okay, The Stand. This one, I don't like it. Like, I read maybe 100 pages of it, and I had to put it down. I did not like this one. This one was just meh. But I'm probably going to try to read it again, and because I don't like putting down books, but this one was just weird, and I did not, it was just so bleh. It was just horrible, and like the situation and everything too, like even from like the first line. Sally, a mutter. Wake up now, Sally, a louder voice. Leave me alone. He shook her harder. Wake up, you've gotta wake up. Charlie's voice calling her. For how long? Sally swam out of sleep. And it was weird because they said she was on a period, but really she was just bleeding a lot. It was just a horrible book. I'm going to try to read it again, but yeah. And is there any books you guys suggest by Stephen Kig? I want to read Carrie and Cujo. And I don't know what other ones I want to read. Maybe The Skeleton Crew. I'm not sure. But not Wishful Thinking or whatever. And Do My Tea is just stupid. So yeah.